Second exhibition game of the year. Started out here in Fulton, New York. CNY versus in white, Broome County in black. Ryan Shapper, Will Rapley, Noel Rowland, Rocco Silsby, and Joe Pierce out there. CNY skates it out, mid-ice. Rapley hits him, pushes him back, clears it out of the zone. Icing. Game 5 out there. Peyton DeToria net start tonight. Turnover here. Pierce goes over to Silsby, takes it back. Dumps around the board to Pierce. Back to Silsby. Back to Pierce. Silsby gets hit in the boards. Off the board, up Shapper, tries to tap it out, gets hit into another player. Stick goes flying. Margo sends it over to Rapley. Rapley has it over to Silsby. Looking, off the stick, keep it in, rolling, over to Silsby, moves it to Pierce. Off the boards, Noah rolling, gets tipped by CNY off Rapley's shin pad, going for a change. Cole Furman, Malzak, Mason Little, and Tristan White out there. Furman bats it out of the air. Can't get it out of the zone. CNY off Furman's shoulder pads. Up to Malzak mid-ice. Malzak skating it in. Poke chucked away. White tries to keep it deep, does. Malzak behind the net. Skates it around. Out to Nick Doris. Little has it. Dumps it over to White out in front. Malzak off the goalie's pad, just wide. Net's off. Stand 5 out there. Tipped up, CNY skating it out. Doris back, Furman tries to poke, Jack can't. Malzak from behind. Penalty. Nick Doris, Mazzio, Terrell, and Furman out there. Mazzio clears it. Terrell chasing. Goalie plays behind the net. Off the guy's skate. Goes back behind the net. Mazzio putting pressure on. Dumps it over. Furman and Doris back. Mazzio trying to get back. 16 coming in. Mazzio, good defense. Passes over. Shot. Victoria saves it. Tries to poke it in. Saves again. Tries again. Save. Out to the point. Terrell pressures. Shot. High and wide. Mazzio after it. Can't get it out. Poke check by Furman. Mazzio does clear. Cooper Fallon out there. Pierce, Silsby, and Terrell skating it in. Shot off Pierce's skate. Terrell has it. Into the goalie. Cooper found Owen Harrison, Joe Pearson, Rocco Silsby. Rocco clears it down. CNY skating after it behind the net. Fallon putting pressure on. Mid-ice. Skates in the zone. Stick check by Fallon. Over the front middle. Shot wide. In the corner, Silsby puts pressure on. Up to the top. Shot. Victorious save. Poke check away. Fallon clears. Harrison Tracy. 17 seconds left on the penalty. Off Harrison's stick. Fallon poke checks. Dumps it. Nobody home. Off Silsby's shin pad. Dumps it deep. Pierce after it. Malzak out of the box. Ryan Schapper on the ice. Get it behind the net. Nobody home. Keeps it in the zone. Shot wide. Pierce after it. Tries to clear it. Right off. Back at it, technical difficulties. Rapidly off the goalie's pads, almost tries to keep it in. Doris does. Doris, Shepard, Rapley, Rowland, and Furman out there. CNY plays in the corner, picked off by Rapley, right in front of the net. Goalie spots it away. CNY passes it out. Lifts the stick by Rowland. CNY dumps it deep. Doris after it behind the net. Rapley's got it. Dumps it to Shepard. Over Rowland. Skates in the zone. Dumps it in front. Picked away by CNY. Shepard has it on a stick. Gets picked away. CNY skates out with it. Doris and Furman back. Rapley poke check. Shepard. Shepard skating it. Dumps it deep. Going for change. Harrison on the ice. McNamee and Watley, along with Brady Saban. McNamee after it, tries to keep it in, goes down under the boards. CNY skating out with it. Watley put pressure on. Poke check by Doris. Watley tries to clear, can't. Gets it out of the zone there. Watley putting pressure on. Lifts it. Harrison. Saban has it. Dumps it deep. Jacob McAbee on the ice. Tries to dump it around. CNY comes out with it. McAbee up to Harrison. Harrison skates. Tries to get to McAbee. Gets it deep. Watley Harrison putting pressure on. Up the mid-ice, CNY. Saban poke checks it out. Dumps it deep. McAbee after it. Nobody home. Malzak, Little, White on the ice. White steals it. Tries to get it deep, can't. Right to McAbee. Poke check by him. He's chasing after it. White back on D. Over Saban off his stick. Just out of the reach of White. Silsby on the ice, Pierce on the ice. Pierce comes off, gets it. Moves over to Silsby. Dumps it over to White, a little too far. White gets it deep. Malzak, Mason Little chasing after it. Pierce trying to keep it in, does. Over to Malzak. White has it in the corner. Dumps it around the boards. Silsby's there. Shot. Off a skate. Little keeps it deep. Malzak tripped up under the boards. 2-minute power play for the Bulls. Doris, Ryan Shappert, Furman, Rowland, and Rapley out there. Keep it in. Shappert has it. Shot, wide. Over to Furman. Furman keeps it in. Moves over to Doris. Doris has on stick. Shot. Goal! Nick Doris from Cole Furman. Doris, Furman, Phelan, Mazzio, and Terrell out there. Doris moves over to Furman. Back to Doris. Tries to get it to Mazzio, nobody home. Picked off by CNY. They skated in. Furman hits him. Torrey plays it over to Mazzio. Skates it. Wipes out. Gets it over to Terrell. Terrell dumps it deep. Phelan chasing after it. Off to Doris. Tries to keep it deep. Does. Mazzio keeps it deep. Over to Phelan. Phelan skates it in. Shot. Blocked by the defender. CNY skating it out. Dumps at the blue line. Picked off by Terrell. Terrell gets hit from behind. Doris over to Phelan. Phelan skates it. Furman gets it over to Terrell. Terrell has it. Dumps it deep. Harrison on the ice. Stella Irons. Cooper Lee. Irons has it. Lee chases it back out to Harrison. Harrison shot from the point, just wide. Ethan Shappert out there. They dump it deep. Irons after it. Clears the zone. Over to Cooper Lee. To Harrison. Off his stick. Liam Mathis on the ice. Clears the zone. Harrison can't handle it. A little too far. CNY skates it in. Off the skate. Liam Mathis chasing after it. Oh, wipe out. Mathis has it. Tries to get it deep. Glove down. Try to clear. Irons can't handle it. Has a mid-ice. Pumps it in the zone. Offsides. Silsby, Pierce, Shappert, Rollins, shot from the point off the goalie stick. Rapley, just wide. Pierce picks it off, skates it in, runs one kid over. Shappert pressure in the corner, tries to clear it. Rapley keeps it in. Too much for Rollins. Silsby keeps it in, off the skate. Rollins battling for it. Oh, too far for Pierce. Got to skate back and get it. Over to Silsby, dumps it up the boards to Rollins. CNY there. Back to Silsby. Over to Pierce. Ryan Shappert skating it up to Rapley. Penalty coming on CNY. To Silsby in the middle of the ice. Skates it back. Over to Pierce. Malzak on the ice, the extra man to Ryan Shappert. Skates it in. Over to Rapley. Backhands it. Malzak has it behind the net. Over to Shappert, right in front. Chipped out. Silsby chasing it. Behind the net. Over to Pierce. Pierce moves it over to Will Rapley. Rapley skating it in. Shot off the blocker, save. Penalty coming up. Mazzio, Doris, Malzak, White, and Furman out there. Mazzio behind the net, tries a one-time Malzak. Off the stick into the corner, back out to Furman. Furman skates it in. Shot off the goalie's blocker. CNY clears it. Vittoria out to play. Doris has it. Skates with it, passes up to White. Over to Furman. Turned over at the red line. Skates it in, Doris putting pressure on. Gets it, Malzak skating it. Skates it in the corner. Out to Doris. Doris over to Mazzio in the corner. Mazzio has it. Shot just wide. Out to Furman at the point. Furman skates it. Blocked by the defender. They clear. Vittoria out to play it. Settles it. 55 seconds left in the penalty. Doris over to Malzak. Malzak skating up. Over to Mazzio. Mazzio, shot, wide. Doris keeps it in. Shot off the shin pad, just wide of the net. Mazzio behind the net. It's out to Doris. Net's off. Bust. Ryan Shapper, Joe Pierce, Rocco Silsby, Noah Rowland shot wide, and Will Rapley out there. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Rapley skating with it over to Pierce. Pierce shot wide. Rapley after it. Dumps it out to Silsby. Silsby skating to the middle. Shot in front. Oh, tried to redirect by Shepard. Just misses. Shepard can clear it off the goalie's chest. Defender comes out with it. Can't keep it in. 5 seconds left. Vittoria to Silsby. Over to Pierce. Rapley skating at mid-ice. Skates it in. Shot off the goalie's shoulder. Out to Silsby at the point. Dumps it deep. Rapley after it. Rowland has it. Keeps it deep. Shapper behind the net. Looks for Rapley. Rapley has it. Out to Pierce. Pierce keeps it in. Dumps it back to Rapley. Shapper plays it into the boards. Chipped up in the air. Rapley hits. Tries to clear. Pierce keeps it in. CNY clears. Silsby after it. Backhands it over to Rapley. Shapper. Shapper skates it over to Rowland. Picked out by CNY. They skate it out. Shot right in the chest of Vittoria. Save. Mason Little skates out with us. Got Terrell on the wing. It's 2-on-1. 3-on-1 with Cooper Fallon coming middle. Shot just wide. McAbee coming after it. Shot. Glove save. Back to McAbee over to Sabin. Sabin Picks his pocket. McAbee chasing down. Saban chasing down. Oh, poked away by McAbee. Little dumps it deep. Skates it with it. Looks. Off the skate. CNY. Cooper Fallon picks it off. Skates it in. Terrell's got Terrell with him. CNY clears out to Saban mid-ice. Dumps it deep. Off the face mask of a defender. Fallon puts a hit on him. Back to McAbee, over to Saban. Saban, back to McAbee. To Terrell. Back to McAbee. Hits Terrell skating through the middle. Tries to get over to Fallon, can't. Saban poke checks back away from him. Shot. Saved by Vittoria. Little gets it, put it in the boards. Fallon skating out with it. Skates by him. Gets number 9, pokes it away at last second. Saban puts a hit on him. Owen Harrison on the ice. Possesses the puck. Irons back on defense. Goal. CNY. Harrison, Watley, McNamee, Ethan Shepard, and Irons out there. Watley has it. Victoria covers it up. Harrison wins the face-off. Watley skates back with it. Dumps it back to Irons. Tied up at the boards. CNY comes out with it. McNamee picks it off. Chips it ahead. No icing. Waved off. McNamee putting pressure on, nobody there. Watley has it in the corner. Tries to get to Harrison in front. Irons, Ethan Shepard back. Picked off. Harrison skates it in. All alone. Oh, just wide, just wide. Oh, nets off. Little wins the face-off. Little, Malzak, Tristan White, Herman, and Doris out there. CNY skates through, over the net. Doris hard on the boards. White comes out with it, skates it up. Over to Mason Little. Tries to get it Malzak a little too far. CNY dumps it, no ice. Herman after it. Push off the puck. Hits it back. Malzak pressure on that point. They dump it deep. Whips on it. Nobody in front. Little comes out with it. Over to White. Skates it back. Over to Little. Little skates it in. Tries to go around him. Malzak after mid-ice. Back to Doris. Over to Furman. Furman up to Little. Gets tied up. White, Malzak comes out with it. Skates it in. Skates through 2. Goalie pokes it away. White after it. To Ethan, or Ryan Shepard on the ice. Right back to Malzak, just wide. White going off. Rapidly coming on. CNY can't clear. Doris tries to keep it in. Get it out of the zone. Shepard kept it in. Over to Rapley, a little too far. They clear, back to Furman. Furman looks for Malzak, a little too hard. Noah rolling on the ice. Tries to hit the guy on a breakaway. Wide. No ice. Furman after it. Dumped in front. Rapley takes it up. Skates by one guy. Tries to pass the doors. Two out to handle. Rapley skates through. Rapley has it. Shot. Just wide. Silsby shoots off the goalie's pad. Silsby has it down below, looking for Rapley in the middle. Too hard. Doris keeps it in. Dumps it around. Rolling after it. CNY tries to clear. Doesn't. Rapley kept it in. Nice play. Dumps it deep, rolling after it. Tries to get it Shepard. Poke checked away. Over to Roland in the corner. Rapley has it. Shot. Bounces. Glove save. Fallon, Mazzio, over to Silsby, shot. Oh, almost redirected by Terrell. Pierce shoots, redirected by Fallon in front. Goes off the glass and behind the net. Out to Pierce, Pierce shot. Tried to redirect by Terrell, it's at his feet, can't see it. Cooper Fallon shoots, goal! Cooper Fallon from Pierce and Terrell. Saban, McAfee out there on defense. Fallon, Mazzio, and Terrell still out there. Saban has it. Gets up to Mazzio. Mazzio over to Cooper Fallon. Skates it in. Backhands off the goalie. His helmet. CNY tries to clear. They do. Fallon pressure. Mazzio. Back to Fallon. Over to McAfee. Tries to get the Mazzio in front. Over to Terrell. Terrell skates it in. Dumps it deep. Harrison coming out. Mazzio pressure in the corner. Lifts the stick. They try to clear. They don't. McAfee keeps it in. Over to Harrison. Harrison tries to get it over to Mazzio. Can't. CNY skates out with it. Harrison picks his pocket. Saving a nice poke check. Moves it over to Terrell. Terrell has Harrison skating down the middle of Mazzio. Harrison has it. Tries to get it deep. It's at Mazzio's feet. Gets it in the zone. Cooper Lee out there. Harrison puts pressure on. Shot off the kid's skate. They try to clear. Can't. Cooper Lee keeps it in. Harrison dumps it deep. Pass it back. Saban there. It's at his feet. Try to keep it in. They can't. Harrison has it at the blue line. Over to Mathis. Mathis skating it. Let's put it into the boards. CNY skating out with it. McAfee back, Saban coming back hard. Chase Adams in the game. Well, that save. Cooper Lee gets it over to Harrison. Hits it around. Over to Liam Mathis. Liam Mathis gets it out of the zone. CNY tries to get it in, skates back to mid-ice. Moves it back. Back to mid-ice, Harrison pressure. Skates it in. Off McAfee's shin pad. Harrison dumps it back. Chases after it. Over to Mathis. Mathis skates with it. Off the defender's face mask. Malzak on the ice. Rapley on the ice. Shot. Adams saves it. McAbee plays it. Dumps it back to Saban. Saban dumps it back to McAbee. McAbee skating with it. Tries to get to Malzak. Malzak has it. Dumps it over to Ryan Schapper, skating full head of steam into the zone. Gets it in the corner. Over to Malzak. Pierce on the ice. Silsby on the ice. Silsby has it. Skates. Shoots. Off the goalie's chest. Schapper tries to hit it out of the air. Can't. Dumps over to Silsby. Silsby tries to get in front off the defender's skate. Tries to clear. Can't. Finally do. Silsby chasing after with Pierce back with him. Dumps over to Pierce. Schapper, full head of steam going the other way. Dumps it deep. Malzak after in the corner. Over to Schapper. Pinned against the boards. Malzak comes out with it. Out to Pierce at the point. Pierce shot. Just wide off Schapper's stick. Call it high stick. .3 left, offsetting penalties. Not sure what that was. End of the first half.
fuck did I do?
starting the second half. Ryan Shepard, Pierce, Rocco Silsby, Noah Rowland, and Brock Malzak. Chase Adams still in that. Malzak over to Shepard, over to Rowland, skates it in. Picks his pocket. CNY coming out of the zone with it. Try to keep it in, can't. Malzak gets the pocket picked from behind, skates it in. Off Silsby's stick. Pressure on the corner. Poke checks it away. Out to the blue line. Shot. Adams save. Cleared out of the zone by Silsby out front crease. Out of the zone. Shepard pressure. Malzak pressure. Pierce up to Malzak. Over to Shepard. Skates it in. Rolling in front. Oh, can't. The stick lifted at the last second. CNY coming out. Silsby tries to poke check, goes down. Pierce in front of the net. Tries to flip it in front on Pierce's stick. Over to Silsby. Shepard to Rowland. Back to Shepard. Back to Silsby. Over to Pierce, a little too far. Off Cooper Fallon's stick. CNY dumps it deep. Pierce after it. Back to picked off by CNY and tries to jump off. Goes off the back of the net. Malzak has it. Dumps it deep over to Silsby. Tries to get it back to Malzak off the stick. Malzak handles it. Dumps it back to Pierce. Up to Shepard. Has it at the blue line. Dumps it deep. Fallon. Furman on the ice. Comes Mazzio and Terrell. Dumps it deep. Gonna be an ice. Oh, it stops. Right. Mazzio, Fallon, Terrell, Doris, and Furman. Shot by Doris off the glove of the defender. Standby gets it out. Back to Furman. Furman settles it. Over to Mazzio. Dumps it deep. Terrell chasing. Mazzio chasing. Tries to get it out. Back to Fallon. Fallon has it. It's pocket pick. CNY skating out with it. It's tied up. Fallon's tied up behind the play. Furman pressure, puts him in the boards. Terrell pokes it through, can't. Mazzio try to clear it. Terrell clears it out of his zone. Terrell skating after it. Terrell skates it up. Shot, glove save. Rapley out of the box, back on the ice. Sabin, Little, White, Rapley, and McAbee. Sabin has it. Bumps it over to Rapley. CNY comes out with it. Poke checked away by McAbee. Little has it. A little dangerous over there. The ice isn't really frozen over there. Puck's sticking a little bit. CNY dumps it deep. McAbee with a hit. Rapley tries to get it over to Little, can't. Picked up by a CNY shot. Goalie saved by Adams. Sabin has it against the board, kicks it himself. Tries to get over to Rapley. Rapley has to get behind the net. Over to White. White to Little. Off his stick. Little poke checks it away. Little putting pressure on. Over to Sabin. Sabin has it on a stick. Dumps it deep. Hits the kid. Knocks him down. White putting pressure on. Harrison on the ice. McNamee on the ice. White putting pressure on. Pinning him against the board. Skating him up the boards. Harrison pokes it out. McNamee off her stick. Harrison poke checks. Wiley on the ice. Back to McNamee over to Sabin. Gives it to McNamee. Skates by. CNY skating it in. Watley poke checks it. Dumps it in front. Wide of the net. McAbee come out with it. Skates it up. Dumps it deep. McAbee chasing it. CNY comes out with it. Skating it up. Saving back on D. Hits the body. Skates by him. Shot. Wide. Tries to clear. Harrison gets it out of the zone. McAbee, good stick there. CNY full head of steam. Harrison poke checks it. McAbee gets it. Ethan Shepard on the ice. Shepard gets it behind the net. Saban takes it. Dumps it up to nobody there. Back to defense. Shepard has it. Dumps it over to Saban. Saban moves it up, tries to get to Harrison, a little too far. Wiley dumps it deep. Ryan Shepard on the ice. Will Rapley, Malzak. Stella Irons on the ice. Malzak picks it. Up to Rapley. Shepard up to Rapley. Gets poke checked away. Rapley gets it. Tries to keep it in. Can't. Cleared out. Irons after it. Irons behind the net. Skates with it. Loses it. That's the danger zone over there. A little sticky over there after the cut of ice. Malzak picks it off. Skates with it. Goes by both guys. On his way. Go, Malzak. Nice breakaway backhand by Malzak. Rowland, Pierce, Silsby, Little, and White out there. Over to White. Skates it in. Little chasing it. Lifts the kid's stick. Still pressuring him. Pushes him off the puck. Comes away with it. Rowland trying to keep it in. Can't. Skating back. Pierce can't poke check. Nice hit from Rowland. Silsby comes out with it, backhand, tries to get it to White. He's on the breakaway. Goalie plays it. Rolling after it. Tries to keep it in. Behind the net, on the back of the net. Little comes out and tries to feed in front. Nobody home. They try to clear, can't. Rolling on his stick. He's pushed off the puck. Little tries to keep it in. White comes out with it. Shot, glove save. Mazzio, Terrell, Phelan, Furman, and Doris. Furman skates back. Terrell runs into him. CNY comes out with it. Furman has it. Skates behind the net. Tries to get it to Terrell. Can't. Off his stick. Furman hits the guy. Terrell hits the guy. Furman puts him in the boards. Terrell has it. Dumps it back. Doris. Up to Terrell. Over to Phelan off the skate of the defender. Phelan chasing after it. Phelan comes out with it. Dumps it up to Doris. Doris has it. Dumps it back to Phelan. Down to Terrell. Phelan has it. CNY comes out with it. Skates it out. Doris. Picks his pocket. Dumps it in front. Furman comes out with it. Gets his pocket pick. Shot wide. Phelan hits around the boards. Up to the point. Offside. Maybe a penalty. Power play for Bulls. Silsby shoot from the point. Goalie saved right out front, nobody home. Rapley, Malzak, Ryan Shapper, Silsby, and Pierce out there. New goalie now, Reed Furman in the net. Silsby gets it back to Pierce. Pierce over to Silsby. Skates with it. Over to Malzak. Malzak has mid-ice, had a steam. Over to Ryan Shapper. Shapper skates. Over to Silsby in the corner. Skates with it, skates behind the net, dumps it back to Shapper. Shapper out to the point, that's Rapley. Over to Pierce. Pierce has it. Silsby in front of the net, tries to get it. Front over, oh, nobody home. Rapley tries to get there, can't. Furman comes out to play it. Got one round pressure. Dumps it over to Rapley. Pierce, Rapley, skates it. Over to Shapper. Settles it. Over to Silsby, too far. Tries to get it. Tries to dump it deep, does a little bit. Over to Pierce. Pierce has it. To Malzak at mid-ice. Got Shapper. Kid falls down. Over to Silsby. Silsby skating it in. Shot. Pierce. Oh, he passes Shapper over front. Oh, Shapper off his skate. And Malzak, goal. Silsby, Shapper, Malzak with the goal. Power play goal. Lee Mathis, Cooper Lee, Owen Harrison, Stella Irons, and Ethan Shapper out there. Lee comes out with it, skates it up. A little too far for Mathis. They dump it around. Cooper Lee puts pressure on the corner. Tries to get it out. Irons keeps it in. CNY's coming back. 3-on-1. Ethan Shapper, good stick back. Moves in front, nobody home. Harrison tips it up. Mathis skates it. Pressure by Harrison. Cooper Lee has it mid-ice. Dumps it back to Ethan Shapper. Shapper back to Lee. Lee has it. Skating in. Shot. Glove save. Phelan, Mazzio, Terrell, Sabin, and Maccabee on the ice, tied up in the corner. CNY comes out with it. Sabin back, Maccabee back. Sabin goes for the hit. Furman plays it to the side. Over to Mazzio. Shoots up the boards. Terrell going after it. Cooper Phelan comes out with it. Moves it over to Mazzio, skating up the other side. Mazzio has it. Dumps it to Maccabee, too far out of the zone. Sabin has it over to Maccabee. Back over to Sabin, a little too far. Sabin skates back with it. Jumps up the boards, a little too far for Phelan. Tries to turn back. Phelan comes out with it. Mazzio to Phelan, offsides. Little, White, Furman, Roland, and Doris out there. Little wins the face-off. Over to Doris, dumps off the boards a Little, skates by him. He's got Roland in front, passes over. Oh, goalie takes the net off. Oh, high and wide. Behind the net, Little puts him in the boards. CNY tries to clear, Roland after it. Tries to keep it deep, can't. Gets it out, Furman goes down. Doris comes over, poke checks it. Roland comes out with it, skates with it. Skates by one guy, skates into the zone. Takes it to the corner, tries to dump back to White, nobody home. Back to Doris. Doris tries to get it deep, can't. White's battling against the boards. CNY comes out, flips it around over to Roland. Can't get there. Furman's right there. Furman, but Roland goes deep. CNY tries to clear. White putting pressure on. Goes for the hit. Doris skates it. Rapidly on the ice. Furman skates it up. Waits. Over to Doris. Dumps up. Ryan Shapper on the ice. Malzak back on the ice. Shapper skates in, dumps it over to Rapley. Rapley has it behind the net, tries to get in front of Malzak. Chipped away by the defender. Shapper putting pressure on the corner. CNY tries to clear. Hits it out, Furman after it. Dumps it back up at the blue line. Furman tries to get it out, can't. Rapley goes down. Shapper's got it. Over to Malzak. Rapley putting pressure on. Furman gets it. Pumps up to Rapley. Quick stick check there. Doris is pressure in the corner. CNY skates behind the net. Tries to dump in front. Nobody home. Doris has it on a stick. Gets it out in front of the net. CNY comes out with a shot. Reed Furman, blocker save. Shapper goes to Malzak. Malzak has it. Over to Shapper. Offsides. McNamee, Watley, McAbee, Harrison, and Saban out there. Harrison has it, skates it in. We'll go by one by. Shot off the goalie's chest. Doesn't cover it. CNY comes out with it. Saban back, McAbee back. Saban goes for the hit, turns it over. McNamee going after it, mid-ice. Tries to dump it up. Saban chases after it. Saban up to Watley at his feet. CNY comes out with it. Oh, Harrison has it now. Tries to give it to McNamee. Tries to get out of the zone. Can't. McAbee goes down one knee, goes through the zone. Saban has it on a stick. Dumps it behind the boards. Gets hit. McAbee comes out with it. Tries to get it out. Can't. Harrison can't. Shot. Way wide. Saban after it. Put it in front. Nobody home. Dumps it deep. Harrison after it. Skates out with it. Over to Watley. Harrison takes it. Skates in. He's got McNamee. Watley chasing down. Turns around. Tries to dump it over. Turns it over at the blue line. CNY skating out. Saban there. Goes for the hit. Hits him. Herman. Save. Terrell and Pierce. Off the goalie's pads. Maggio has it. Penalty. Power play. Goal! Pierce. Joe Pierce. Terrell has it. It's over to Silsby. Silsby tries to get to Maggio a little too far. You got Maggio, Fallon, Pierce, Terrell, Silsby out there. Maggio puts him in the boards. Cooper Fallon has it on a stick right in front to Terrell. Save. Goalie change of CNY. Fallon, Maggio, Terrell, Silsby, and Pierce out there. Pierce bounces back. Terrell with the pressure. Fallon comes away with it over to Silsby, over to Pierce. Pierce looks for Terrell off his stick, off the roof. Doris, Furman, Rowland, White, and Little out there. Furman tries to get to White a little too far. Goalie plays it, dumps it behind the net. Little with pressure. Little comes out with it. Over to White. White has it. Tries to dump it in front. Nobody there. CNY comes out with it. Up the boards. Doesn't get out. Rowland keeps it in. Skates with it. Little off the roof again. CNY wins face-off, dumps it around the back behind the net, tries to get it out. Doris off his stick, got one on pressure. Sends it around the boards to Furman. Furman takes it up to White, skates it back. Moves over to Doris. Doris dumps up to Roland. Can't get it out. CNY skates in with it. Shot wide of the net. Doris has it behind the net. Over to Roland. Roland tries to get a little too far. Back to Furman. Over to Doris. Dumps it up. Mid-ice to CNY. CNY skates it. Looks for the pass off Roland's stick. Owen Harrison on the ice. Harrison has it. Stick lifting from behind. Skates through the kid. Furman in there. Pinned against the board. CNY comes out with it. Oh, Furman comes out with it. Over to White. Stick check from behind. Turns it over. Shot. Wide. Furman puts him in the boards. Whiffs on it. Rolling. Over to White. To Harrison. Cooper Lee coming on the ice. CNY skating out with it. CNY has it in the corner. Furman after him. Tries to dump in the front off his skate. Doris comes out with it. He's got Mathis on the ice. Doris skates through one guy. Into the zone. Shot up in the air. Off the netting. Owen Harrison, Cooper Lee, Liam Mathis, Ethan Schapper, and Stella Irons out there. Cooper Lee has it against the boards, pinned against the board, comes out with it. Chipped away by the defender. Lee lifts the stick from behind. Mathis tries to get it out, does. Harrison after it. Over to Mathis, over his stick, bounces over his stick. Schapper coming after it. Schapper skates it back. Bumps up the boards. Irons behind the net. Harrison chips it. CNY comes out with it. Skates with it. Shot wide. Guys are dumping in front. Furman covers up. Ryan Schapper, Will Rapley, and Malzak, Silsby, and Pierce. Malzak comes out with that, skates it in, offsides. Schapper back to Silsby at his feet, over to Malzak off his skate, and Pierce skates it in, dumps it deep. Rapley going after in the corner. Right in front, nobody home. Pierce comes out. That's skate over to Silsby. Silsby has it. Over to Malzak. Malzak has it mid-ice, skates it in. Tries to get it to Schapper a little too far, turns over in front of the net. Rapley's trying to get there. Dumps it in the corner, Schapper after it. Dumps it back to Rapley. CNY tries to clear over to Pierce. Dumps it deep. Malzak. Schapper. Shot off the goalie's mask. They try to clear. They do. Silsby has it over to Pierce. At his skate. Dumps up to Malzak. Malzak tries to get the Schapper. Can't. Over to Pierce. And Malzak. Malzak skates out with it. Gets to Schapper. Schapper skating up. Got Rapley going up the left side. Skates it in. Shot. Pad save. Wrap it there for the rebound. Put it back in. Ryan Schapper from Mazzio, Fallon, Harrison, Sabin, and McAbee out there. Shot, Furman plays to the side. McAbee comes out with it, skates it over to Harrison, dumps it back. Sabin after it in the corner. Hits the kid in the boards. Fallon comes out with it, skating with Harrison. Dumps it back, nobody home. Mazzio has it, over to McAbee. McAbee, right back to Mazzio. Mazzio tries to get to Harrison, a little too far. No ice. Fallon after it, Harrison after it. Fallon gets it at his feet, turns it over, gets it out to the point, keeps it in. Sabin turns it over at the blue line. Skating out, McAbee's putting pressure on. Shot way over Furman's head. Shot back on that, Furman plays it to the side off his pads. Shot out front, Sabin, good play. Lifted the stick. Net off. Roland wins faceoff. Little comes out with it. Little skating it up. Little, Rollins, White, Doris, and Furman. Little putting pressure on him. Doris with a poke check. Tries to get it out. Tristan White picks it up, skates it through. It's over the blue line. Shot off, right off the goalie's chest. Gets the rebound. Little keeps it deep. White has rolling down the middle. Tries to get the little shot just off the goalie's pad. Tries to get in front. Goalie covers it up. McNamee wins the draw. Goalie covers up. McNamee, Terrell, Irons, Ethan Shepard, Watley out there. Shepard back, off his stick, out of play. Good play by Ethan Shepard. Tries to come out with it. Block shot by Ethan Shepard in the corner. Stella Irons after it. Poke checks. CNY dumps it. Terrell's out with it. Dumps it back behind. Shepard after it. Terrell with a big hit. Clears the guy out front. Shot. Furman covers up. Pierce, Silsby, Ryan Shepard, Will Rapley, and Melzak out there. Pierce picks his pocket behind the net. Silsby comes out with it, dumps it, tries to dump it up, but Rapley can't. Out in front, Pierce picks it off at his skate. Rapley comes out with it. 3-on-2 the other way. Rapley, defender pokes it away. Rapley in the corner goes down awkwardly. CNY skating it out. Melzak back. Poke check. Pierce gets it out of the zone. Nope, they kept it in. Nope. Rapley back to the play. Picked off by Melzak. Tries to get it out. Can't. Shot off the defender's leg. Silsby has it. Tries to get it to Shepard off the defender. Furman plays it to the side. Silsby after it in the corner. Dumps it back to Pierce. Pierce over Silsby. Just looking. Comes up to Malzak at the blue line. Malzak has Shapper skating through the middle. Shapper skates in the zone, goes by one guy. Has it in the corner, dumps it up to Pierce at the point. Pierce has it. Shot. Redirected by Rapley. Can't. Silsby comes over the shot. Boom, off the roof. Harrison, Lee, Matthews, Saban, and Maccabee out there. 47 seconds left in the game. Saban comes out with it over to Maccabee. Tries to get it to Harrison. It's out of the zone. Matthews has it. Lee has it. Lee skates up with it. Tries to get it to Harrison. Can't. Goes deep. Harrison chasing in the corner after it. Tries to dump it in front. CNY comes out with it. 25 seconds left. CNY trying to clear. Gets it deep. Furman's off the stick. Maccabee skates it out. 15 seconds left. Clears the zone. Lee with the pressure. Saban with a hit. Oh, and Maccabee with a hit. Lee comes out with it. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Over to Maccabee. And that's the game.